If alpha and beta are roots of the equation x squared minus 4x plus 2 is equal to 0, without solving the equation, find the value of alpha over beta squared plus beta over alpha squared. Now the first thing first, what you need to find is the two roots that you've been given, alpha and beta, find their sum. So you need to find alpha plus beta. And you know that alpha plus beta is given by the equation negative b over a. So in this case, b in this question is negative 4 and a is 1. So that will just be a 4. And then you need to find the product of the roots alpha beta, which is given by c over a. And c in this one is what? 2a is still 1. That is going to be 2. Are we good? Now alpha over beta squared plus beta over alpha squared. First, you need to make this as a single fraction. That is going to give you, multiply the alpha and the alpha square, that to be alpha cubed. And then plus beta times beta square, that to be beta cubed. And then divide by, multiply the two denominators. Since both are squared, I can just write alpha beta and then put it in a square. Now, you need to know, that alpha cubed plus beta cubed is the same as alpha plus beta. When factorizing, you need to know that alpha cubed plus beta cubed is the same as alpha plus beta, and then alpha squared minus alpha beta plus beta squared. So this is what happens when you factorize alpha cubed plus beta cubed. So if there is a plus here, just know that they are going to be a plus here. Okay, these two are going to, they will not have any power, but the first one here is supposed to have a power, the next one here, the last one is supposed to have a power. Here just multiply the alpha and the beta. Just know you need to put a minus if there is a plus here. We are good? Okay, in the denominator I've got alpha beta squared. Again, I need to pair up the alpha squared and the beta squared. So that is going to give us alpha plus beta. And then we are going to have alpha squared plus beta squared minus alpha beta, then divided by, we are going to have alpha beta squared. Okay, again, we need to know the identity for alpha squared plus beta squared. So if you get to factorize that, what are you going to get? So that one you also need to know. So that is going to give you alpha plus beta. Every time you have got alpha squared plus beta squared, you need to know that that gives you, you can write this, that gives you alpha plus beta. Okay, you square this and then minus 2 alpha beta. So alpha squared plus beta squared is the same as alpha plus beta minus 2 alpha beta. But remember, I've got another minus alpha beta there, and then in the denominator we have got alpha beta squared. So this gives you alpha plus beta, and then you've got alpha plus beta squared. This will become negative 3 alpha beta, and then in the denominator you've got alpha beta squared. Okay, now start substituting. Where there is alpha plus beta, we know alpha plus beta is a 4. So that will be 4 open brackets 4 squared minus 3 times alpha beta, which is 2, and then over alpha beta, which is 2 squared. This is going to be 4 squared 16, 3 times 2 6, over 2 squared is a 4. So this and this can cancel. 16 minus 6 is a 10. So that is it.